take these ones on you? We'll find out on this episode.
I think it's okay to drink alcohol when you're on, what is it, allergy pills? Never heard anything.
That doesn't sound safe because they're drowsy. They're drowsy, but we're gonna find out. So if I start being like, yeah, I agree.
Cheers to the wine.
You will.
Sure.
All right, so
Is it recording?
Yeah. No. We'll start whenever we feel like. So when you're ready to record, let me know and I'll get up and start recording. So that's the kids living like actually. They don't care that we're trying to anything. And leave a comment if you can wait.
For real. Leave a million comments.
Well, I sound congested because I was greatly affected by the great mist 2 days ago. If you were up early on, what's today? Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
If you were up early on Sunday morning, you saw that fog out there.
Yeah.
That was not okay. And I slept with my window open that night. And when I got up, oh, I can see myself in the TV. So this is a good shot. We'll go there. Awesome. So I slept with my window open. Woke up the next morning like this. And I had the great idea to clean because the kids weren't here. I was like, let me go ahead and clean while they're out of the way, out of the house. Blah, blah, blah. Close the window. Then I started wiping everything down, not only with chemical stuff, but the dust was flying everywhere. Yeah. And I cleaned the ceiling fan. Can you tell?
Yes, and so that makes it worse because I know that when you dust the ceiling fans, it falls.
Right, and I had no mask because I'm such a genius.
It's plus dust, plus chemicals,
Absolutely.
plus kids equals allergies.
Something is, trying to take your girl down. When I was laying in my bed, I just look at the ceiling fan. I don't know how many of y'all look at ceiling fans and y'all go to people's houses, but I do. And so I assume that if I'm doing that, other people are doing it. Just like this vent right here. I don't know if you've ever looked up there. I have to clean that. Girl. And I will.
Oh, no. Okay, thanks.
And I will. I was pointing at the air vent over there because I did not clean it the other day. But I need to wear a mask. Anyway, long story longer, like the whole day. And I was like, I was trying to think what I used. I didn't use like ammonia and bleach. Like I'm smarter than that. But I was like, why is it acting up? So when I went out and sat in the sun, and that dried it up, and I felt so good sitting in the sun. But as soon as the sun went down and I came back in,
there you go again.
Drip, drip, came through dripping. Drip, drip, like for real. And so I went through an entire box of tissue on my own. This is the second box. The first time I had the good stuff, and you see what brand this is, because baby, who got that? I think it was like 4 boxes for $11.
But it works just as good.
It's gonna work today. It's not as soft. Now those other ones, I will say, they felt like clouds. So although I was constantly wiping, it wasn't like harsh
soreness.
Right. These, you could tell that they were $6.
Girl, when I don't have the tissue papers, I be using the paper.
No.
Can you imagine?
No, I would never. I would use a dirty t-shirt before I use a paper.
I use a paper towel. You know how rough that is?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So yeah. So bear with me as I scream.
Can you hear us? Please let us know.
And I just took some allergy meds. Cheers to that. But I really just want to stop the symptoms so that I can get through this, finish my homework assignment, and then sleep at least peacefully. And then I'll figure everything else out tomorrow. If it wasn't so cold, I would have sat in the sun again today. But did you not turn into? Do you want to build a snowman? I really felt like that earlier today.
I wish there was snow at this point. I've never seen snow. I mean, if it's this cold, it might as well snow.
Not in Florida. No.
I've never seen snow in my life.
I was telling her earlier it was so cold, like tears were running down my face this morning. I was crazy. And I was like, oh, I'll be fine because it's like early, 7 something. Maybe 7 something. And then 8 something came, 9 something came, 10 something. I was like, what is happening? It never got warmer.
No. It got colder.
Definitely got colder. So anyway, here we are.
Sipping on some wine.
Oh my gosh, she introduced me. What is the name of that cocoa? Do you remember? Abuelita's cocoa. That's grandma. Mm-hmm. Look at me.
You want to bring the house? Let's advertise for.
I mean, it's really good, but basically you bring milk to a simmer, and then there's like a chocolate bar thing.
Hot chocolate bar. People are going to think, oh, any chocolate bar will throw
not Hershey's, but it's, it was good. So you put it in a pot, and then you bring it all to a simmer, and then that's basically how you make it.
Yeah.
We put marshmallows in it too, but I thought it was going to be super sweet because we used sweetened almond milk instead of regular milk. So,
but you can use either.
You can use either, but that's just what we had over here.
And yeah, it was good because it was the first time I tried it with almond milk. Yeah. But I like almond milk. So. Yeah. It was good. And with the marshmallows.
I feel like we're trying it up now, but now I feel like I'm talking. Shop right.
You can hear it.
You can. Take us away.
Where am I taking you to? The other side of the border.
Please. Please. Yeah. I'll stick to the evil that I know because everybody is against us right now. So I might as well just stay where I'm at.
So it's a very sensitive topic. We're recording, right?
Maybe.
I don't want to get into the topic.
Let's do a test run. If it gets too
late, so turn over. Okay, well, we're going to assume that you can hear me. It's a very sensitive topic, but we want to touch base on it because it's going on now all across the country. A lot of people are being affected. And it's regarding immigration, ICE, illegal people that are coming in. But we're not trying to offend anyone. This is just talk. This is just our opinions on the topics. Let's start by, I don't know how this affects you at all, but I have friends that have already been deported. Friends that I know for years. Good people, And there's just so many different scenarios. I felt like in the beginning, they were saying they were just going to be taking illegals that were criminals. Because why not?
Right.
Bye. But now I feel like they're just taking anyone and everyone, and not just immigrants, but U.S. citizens are also being affected by this tremendously. How do you feel about what you've seen or what you've heard? I don't know if you can relate or not, but
great question.
I can tell you. So I can relate because I have a friend. I know her probably for like over 10 years. She came here, obviously illegal, and she came with her. Well, she had 2 children here, but she also already had 2 children back in the country, which she brought over here. So they were younger at that time. Now they're adults, but after all this started, she was already working with attorneys for years, doing everything to the T. When I tell you to the T, like she paid her taxes, she paid all her tickets, she didn't want to owe anything. Like she wanted everything to be good so that she can work towards getting some sort of, residency here, being able to stay, because she pictured her life here. She didn't want to go back to her country. She's lived here almost, maybe not her entire life, but for the most part. And her kids have lived here pretty much their entire life. But after all this started, she went to one of her court meetings with immigration, and they told her she has to go back.
The attorneys told her that.
The judge, because she meets with the court with her attorneys and judge.
Even with them showing the judge the proof, like, hey,
it didn't matter. And I was to the point where I'm like, where's the sympathy and empathy? Because she has children that are born here. I was like just thinking to myself, I mean, if I was a judge, I would be like, okay, look, you have until your children graduate, and then you have to some sort of leeway, because her children are still little.
When you say that, just a quick question. For your friend, who you know,
right?
Who you have witnessed, her tenacity and mystique, right? She's one person.
Yeah.
Think of the fact that if you did it for this one person,
you have to do it for everybody.
You have to do it for everybody, the good and the bad, because how can you tell who is good?
Right.
Or can you tell?
But my thing is, they're not treating everyone the same or fairly or unfair. Like, not everyone is being treated the same.
Well, if they're treating everybody,
I feel like in a meeting, for example, if someone gets pulled over and they're illegal, they might be like, oh, here's your ticket, and you're on your way. But then there's others where they're not.
With no distinction between who...
Nothing. They could both be clean records, good citizens, working citizens, well, not citizens, but you know what I mean. There's nothing different. But not everyone's treated the same. They're illegals.
Is there something that isn't talked about that they are basing this on, you think? Or, I mean, they're not just saying, oh, you're pretty, you can stay. It's not surface like that, but like, you work at this company, you can stay. Because from what I have been seeing and reading and hearing, like, there's no, like what you were saying, it's pretty much like a blanketed effort from what I've been reading. They're not just saying, oh, we need you at this company. Oh, you are supervisor over here, you can stay. Oh, you run this organization, you can stay. Like, they are just yanking the carpet from under everybody. So it's so hard to talk about this.
It is.
Because I have not been directly affected by it. However, community is community. Of that, I'm very much aware. And I know that it's not far-fetched at all that when things happen to minorities, other minorities are, you ain't far behind. Like, what's next? Like, it's expected. I think from a cultural stand, and it's not like we had it worse. I'm not getting at that, but we've seen this before. My culture has seen this before time and time again. And in that way, I'm not surprised by what I see. Y'all have seen in history, Black History is coming up in a couple days, right? Y'all have seen in history the treatment, how our people were treated, right? So when I say I'm not shocked or surprised, like nothing that I have seen, whether propaganda you want to say, or whether fake news or deep fakes or AI, well, however you want to put it, none of the videos I have seen has shocked. Because I don't put anything past people in positions of power. Especially when they are, in a sense, they kind of go unchecked. Like the methods that they have, there's kind of no rules in a sense. Or if there are rules and they break them,
there's no consequence.
That's the perfect way to say it. So I have sympathy. I think that's a better word because I can't empathize, obviously, but I do have sympathy for the situation. I think we were sharing earlier, there's just so much going on all at once. So on one hand, in my conspiracy bag, we know from history that when shit hits the fan, it's like, oh, look over here.
Something else is going on behind the scenes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. So, and on every news station, morning, noon, and night, this is all that they're feeding, all that they're feeding, all that they're feeding with a sprinkle of war talk, with a sprinkle of who we gonna kidnap today. Like it is just overwhelming, and it knocks you off. This is my spiel real quick. It knocks your focus off of your journey, your goal, what you're supposed to be doing. It lowers your vibration to where now you're in this woe is me state and you fester in that sort of energy. When we are at that lowered vibrational state, nothing moves forward. And if you know, you know, because I'm talking, but I'm talking to who I'm talking to. So you kind of have to, and I wrote a post about this the other day, you kind of have to observe, process, and release. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Are there things that we can do to help in this effort? Yes. However, y'all see what the person that y'all put in power, y'all see what's going on. He ain't listening to the people that's around him. He's making all the decisions at this point. So I'm not saying don't do anything, but what I am saying is do not get so consumed by all the things, not just this, by all the things. And even if we take it off of the state of the world, you can put that in like your everyday life because we still have to live life. You still have to go to work. We were talking about this. Bills still have to get paid. Your kids, I don't know if y'all can hear them in the back. They don't get paid. Do you hear? They don't care what is happening in the world. They still gonna come ask you for a snack. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to do what you have to do. So just as a little reminder, keep your vibrations as high as you can. Do all the things to decompress, to release, clear your energy, your space. Help in the ways that you can help. But remember, it is not everybody's role, in my opinion,
to be a superhero,
to be the savior. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is not a protester. Everybody is not meant to call the governor and do, like, everybody has their own assignment and we all can't do all the things. So know what your assignment is, stay focused on that, and then also stay grounded. That's what I would say. That would be my best advice. Not to turn a blind eye. It's overwhelming, and I know it's for a purpose. When we're in like a weakened state or lower vibration, it's easier for, this is moving slightly, it's easier for us to be manipulated and taken more advantage of. When she just shared with me the new, is it a flu strand?
Well, this is what I've been seeing in media. Right. So how true is it? I'm not sure, but it's the Nipah virus. I don't even know if I said that right. Nipah
virus. Do you see what I'm saying? So things are happening that could potentially affect all of us in an even bigger way, while things are happening that could affect all of us in a bigger way. It's just so, it's a ripple craziness. So, you know, stay focused. Stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. But just going slightly back to your friend. In the court, was the judge able to say, okay, if this, that, or the other is completed, this could happen, or if you would have done this, that, or the other, the outcome would have been different? Like, or it was just, okay, see ya.
She did. Well, she didn't specify in details how the court proceeding went exactly, but I'm sure she had she asked for, because she asked me for a letter of recommendation. She had to get some letters, according to her attorney, of friends or pastors or workers, anybody. So I, of course, made her one. But even then, that wasn't sufficient. All the proof she had, all the letters she had, nothing. I don't know how they look at it. Like I said, every case is different. But she did everything by law, and that didn't matter. She was still sent back to all her kids stayed here. One of them, the youngest one, being almost JNZ. And I just feel for it because you're in a country that you haven't been in years. You got to start from zero. Yeah. Your children are still over here. And even if you take the smallest child who's a U.S. citizen back to a country where he's never lived in, how is that going to affect them? You know, I don't know. But the thing is, I know I hear a lot of things. Some people are with it, some people are against it. I'm neither or. I just think there's certain ways that things could be done where it's not jeopardizing lives. People are not being killed. No violence. I feel like they're just doing this too recklessly, and it's unfair.
I could agree with that point. I could definitely agree with that point. I just want to take a breath. That was a lot.
It is. It is a lot. I have to process.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I just think the economy is going to suffer in a way. Because we make up a lot of the working class, if we're being honest. And maybe that's a way to usher in AI more. Like I don't know, but when I tell y'all deep in the conspiracies, like I'm trying to put the puzzle together.
Everybody is.
Because it's got to make sense.
There has to be a reason, right?
There has to be a reason. And a true reason, because there's going to be a reason that they feed us, right? What's the real? And I don't know. I'm never one to think that, oh, I'm black, this ain't about us, it's not our fight, it's not this, it's not that. Because to me, a minority is a minority, and I'm not far removed. Like, been there, done it, time and time again. So it's almost like holding my breath for, okay, if they doing this to them, what they could do with it. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But also, remember, I'm like vibe high. So when it comes to like news and all of that, I'll see a snippet here, a headline there. I'll do a little bit of my research, but then I cut it, observe, process, release. Because I got other stuff that I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm called, when I'm called to partake in whatever way that is for me, that I feel led to do, then I'll pick up that fight in that way.
It just puts fear in a lot of people, and even people who shouldn't have fear because, like I said, I'm a U.S. citizen.
Right.
But my fear is because I look like a Latina, a Hispanic, and I go out there, who's to say I'm not going to be harassed? Who's to say that something's not going to happen to me? That's my fear. So, like, I haven't been going out more as lately because of, all these posts that says, oh, ISIS been spotted here, ISIS been spotted there, and nothing close to home here. And I'm like, I don't want to go out there. I don't want to be approached. I don't want to be, that's why, people are affected by it. And who knows when it's going to stop.
If or when.
If or when.
If or when at this point. But I don't even know where to begin.
You don't have to begin. It's okay.
I really do not. I do feel for her. I have heard conversations where it's hard to determine the good from the bad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know how they say one bad apple spoils the.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I've heard that being said around, and I don't agree. I feel like I don't agree or disagree. And it's because it's hard to straddle the fence when if I was in the group that was being targeted,
Right.
I would definitely be on one side of the fence.
Right.
So
I'm neutral, but I just don't agree with all the violence and killing
and the children. I think when they put those type of stories and headlines out, that's really what grabs the heartstrings, in my opinion. Oh,
there's different scenarios
awful.
for children.
Oh my God, this is annoying. I'm so sorry. But get it back. But hearing about the children, even like you said, although her kids are adults. I'm at my age and I still call my mom and I need my dad and all of the things. So I don't think like, oh, they're adults, they can figure it out. Like, when do you stop needing your parents?
No.
I'll wait. But so yeah, that's very scary. And then for her, having to figure it out, having to start all over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Especially going that hard, doing all the things, following the rules. Does that sound familiar? Following all the rules and still being told no. Still getting doors closed. It's really familiar. That's all I will say. It's very, very familiar. It's not far removed at all. But not to make it a race thing, but we've heard it all before. We've seen it all before. So it's just like day to day, I just don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah. We don't know. Hopefully nothing worse.
And this is all within the first year of his reign.
Can you imagine?
This first year. I don't want.
How many more to go?
Like, what is in store
for the future? Who knows? But yeah, let us know what you think about this topic. Well, thank you for watching. We love everybody. Bye.
Oh, okay, I don't want to do it again. Girl. That was a tough topic.
It was. I confused her a little bit.
Very much so. Just because this is the after show at this point, but just because the thoughts, I just think being black and brown has just always been a struggle. And I'm not surprised. I'm just not surprised.
And we're not that far apart.
We're not. I'm being so serious though. Like, it's okay. If it were my people, if the shoe was on the other foot, do you see how it could be like, dang, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do? How can I help? What can you do?
Nothing.
What can you do?
I can't do anything, but I feel,
absolutely.
I can't do anything. I did what I could for her, the letter.
Yeah.
That didn't work. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And I'm sure they've given the judges instructions, and you know how things work behind the scenes with the judicial system. And if you don't do this, then you might not have a seat, or we'll get rid of you, we'll get you out of there, we'll replace you. So I think everybody is under a microscope in some way, shape, or form. So everybody's looking out for the best interest of themselves. That's it. Everybody's looking out for the best interest of themselves.
Yes. Everybody has a role to play.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's not certain places I have seen it freezing outside and they still are out there protesting. Like, I get it. Because when Black Lives Matter was going on, I have never seen the streets so bloody all at once. Then again, we were in the middle of a pandemic. But even seeing as many people now, when the world has returned to normal, it hasn't. You know, they didn't care about the poll because their voices needed to be heard, which I definitely understand. It's just fun. I hope that change is made. I'm just unsure that with the current state of like the government and all of that, what that change will look like and what strings are attached to that change and conspiracies. Speaking of conspiracies, what conspiracies do you believe in? All of them. Name one, and I'll tell you if I don't believe it. Well, I don't know too many conspiracies, but do you believe in the future there will be a market? I do. I believe that it exists now. You used to make videos of people who are getting microchips inserted in them. They can literally scan their hand over the thing. So I've read, but I didn't. To this point, I haven't seen it like in videos or anything like that. I haven't, scanning. Like, I haven't seen nothing that's legit. Say, oh wow, okay. Beautiful. I've just seen articles. I'll send you some. Now, most of it is at those like technology conventions that they have when they're introducing the new technology. Yeah. But that is very real and I think very much a thing. I don't think like it's going to be like how the Bible says. It's not like a stamp or a tattoo or like when they brand the animals. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it'll be very subtle and it'll be modern, like with our times. And that's why I'm thinking that chip is probably a version of it. It's kind of how they put the chip in the cards. I mean, they're put chip in the cards. And I also consider during the pandemic, those people who had the vaccine cards, maybe that was like a physical form of having a mark. Remember, they weren't letting us anywhere. You couldn't go out to eat. You couldn't go to the movies if you didn't have this card. You couldn't do normal, everyday activities that were normally enjoyable unless you had proof that you had received this injection. Mighty funny how all of the pro people have gotten so quiet now that science and reports and research have been released saying, talking about the adverse effects and the long-term effects and how it has affected people's children and their babies and the deaths and all the things. Nobody came back the way that they were on social media, like sweeping for. Like, yeah. Nobody came back and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was so wrong. I can't believe it. I haven't seen it. Anyway, I went on the side street there, but conspiracies, yes. Aliens, yes. Human meat in the fast food, absolutely. Bioengineered, absolutely. Bioengineered chicken, because where are all these animals coming from if y'all are selling millions of burgers and millions of pieces of chicken every single day? There's not that many animals. That I believe. So that I believe, yes. I believe in that. I believe in everything they say. Girl, we go on and on for conspiracies. There's probably not a conspiracy I have heard. And this is me because I'm an objective thinker. So I can see a perspective or I can hear somebody's viewpoint. And even if I don't agree with it immediately, I can be like, well, I can see how you come up with that. Right. I'm open to all of the things. But the ones that interest me, I definitely go and do my own research on. I think more recently they've been talking about the moon a lot more. I don't know if that's going to get us flagged. I probably shouldn't go to the event. But anyway, all the things about the big light in the sky.
I haven't heard about that. I've heard about gravity, losing gravity for 7 seconds. No, just like how they said that big alien ship or whatever the heck it was coming for a bazillion light years and going fast was going to come to Earth, and I didn't see that.
What if it did come?
I didn't see.
This is why I say that. What if it did come and that's when shit hit the fan?
Do you think
There's always like, look, Michelle, look over there. Look,
I'm looking.
There's the ship right behind your damn head. That's what I'm saying. Like, what if it happened, but they had distracted us so much that it was make them focus on this so that they don't,
Or you think it
that's
came
what we call arrival,
and they're hiding under the ground like they did with
well, that is possible.
Live among us?
Anything is possible.
Do you think they live among us?
If you can shapeshift, absolutely.
Do you think that they look like aliens how we describe them, or do you think they look different?
Both.
So you think there's like different aliens?
Because if you can shapeshift, you can easily or fluidly move in and out.
So do you believe this conspiracy that back then they used to talk about Obama and Michelle being reptiles and
paparazzi, girl. Too much paparazzi. Did you?
It's okay if you did or didn't.
I think that there is truth in everything.
I think it's interesting, but I feel like I would need more to go off of.
It's funny that you say that. I'm going to push you a little bit. You would need more proof to go off of. You know where I'm going. But God gave his only begotten son to save all the sinners of the world. Mm-hmm. And he's going to return here one day.
Yes.
And take his people with him.
Yes.
Not far-fetched.
So I need
you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm so open to it, and I'm not making light of the religion. I swear I'm not. I just have to put it in that language to like.
No, I know, and that's why I watch my word, because I was gonna say, but I've said this before, and people are like, well, but I was gonna say, well, you have to see it to believe it. But then you were gonna come back with, well,
the whole religion is based on the
you believe in a God you can't see. There's just so much. I know there's a lot of things in this world, like there's possibilities beyond. I just don't know where it starts and where it ends.
That's it. Because we don't know what's next. We were talking about the afterlife last time. It's just more of the same, different form, or different environment.
Trust me, I thought about, okay, so yes, I believe the Bible, I believe God and everything. But what if there's like the same God has created another place, or that it's like other people, you know what I mean? I don't know, like another. Who's to know?
And I think that's why we don't know, because if we are saying we don't know and it's already like overwhelming a little, imagine if we did know. We can't get stuff right on this planet and having to consider
other.
Girl.
That's a lot.
Let me finish this first. Then we can move on to something at a different.
So, one more question: do you believe in reincarnation?
In what way?
In that you can come back as another human being. Not an animal. I know people think reincarnation as an animal, no, like as another human being. Like your soul gets put into another human being, basically. You're born again, physically.
That's a good question. I don't disbelieve.
But you don't believe it?
I have seen, I watch a lot of stuff. I have seen documentaries where like little kids are telling their parents memories, vivid memories of their previous life. And then when the parents go back and research it, the person that they're talking about did exist. And they can basically fact check what the child is saying. The child who has never been here before. And how else would you explain that? How else could you explain that? A child is not on the internet like researching, let me look up Henry, Jacobs, and then memorize his life and then tell my mom. Like, I don't. Who picks and chooses who can come back and how they get it done? I'm unsure. Is it possible? Is it anything possible? I think so. I think anything is possible. And that's why it's still a little deeper. When they say, when I have seen that has happened, they'll say like at the beginning of time, your soul basically picks a physical body form, but your memories are erased. Could you imagine choosing to come and live in this chaotic environment? Ooh, Earth looks promising. Let me, I'm unsure that, and I talked to my sister about that a lot. I'm unsure that I would have chosen to do this test. And then she always reminds me, well, the soul is given an assignment before you choose your physical being. Your soul is given an assignment, and that is what the human is chasing like their entire life. That's why I'm like, stay focused, stay on your path, follow your journey, because we all have to pass this game of life, if you will. She would love me saying that. By staying the course, whatever your mission was, you have to complete your mission, and then and then you can transition. But anyway, vibe high, y'all. I don't know. Vibe high, stay focused, and we will see y'all next time. Girl, I feel like that was a whole other episode. Yes, girl. Well, we have some stuff to go off of, huh? We do. That was good. We should have an episode just full